Greetings and welcome to the Contracting Guy. I am the Contracting Guy, and I'm here on location in front of Tony Paco's and right next to Fifth Third Field, the home of the Toledo Mud Hens. Both Tony Paco's and the Toledo Mud Hens have one thing in common, and that is Max Klinger, one of the stars of the TV show MASH. Something just to be mindful of. I have a question that I received from a veteran who sends in the following email. He said, "Hey, contracting guy, my name is Max and I'm from Toledo, Ohio, and I have a question. How does context fit into solicitation, understanding, interpretation?" Well, Max from Toledo, Ohio, I'll have an answer for you in just a moment. Well, Max from Toledo, Ohio, you ask an excellent question regarding context and solicitations. So let me answer that for you. Context has a great deal to do with interpretation because it sets the framework and boundaries of an interpretation of a solicitation. For instance, a contingency contract for emergencies would require different attitude and behavior than some normal contract that would occur that isn't emergent or based on a contingency. Others, such as it's a service, you do it one way. If it's a supply, you do another way. So everything kind of links together. Now, if you're preparing to look at a solicitation, I'd suggest that you do a couple things first. First is understand the makeup of a contract, what goes into a contract. Second, understand what parts of the Federal Acquisition Regulation relate to that contract. Third, understand the relationships that are going on there. For instance, if it's an emergency, if it is something that is vital, if it's something that is critical, whatever it might be, understand what's going on. When you understand that, you start to understand the context and behavior of the contract specialist, the contracting officer, and the end user of the product. They want something. And your goal is to figure out what they want. And while the solicitation tells you a lot, it doesn't tell you everything. So you have to kind of look at that from a critical analysis point of view. What's going on in life to be able to make that a difference? Now, if you're buying pencils and paper, it's really no big deal. But if you're buying war fighting stuff, or if you're selling war fighting stuff to the government, well, then suddenly, the way you look at things become a little bit more challenging. So there's a little short stuff on context, but context is a big deal. Max from Toledo, Ohio, I hope that I've given you some information to work with. Take the time, and here's some takeaways, is read the full solicitation, understand how the solicitation is put together, read multiple ones so you understand how generally they are put together and the flow. Look at the regulation, the Federal Acquisition Regulation that relates to the solicitation you're looking at, and apply the parts of the FAR, Federal Acquisition Regulation, that relate to that requirement. There's 52 parts to the FAR. Not every part is going to be applying to your requirement. In fact, most likely, not every part is ever going to apply to any contract. But there's probably going to be 4 to 10 parts that you will have to know somewhat more in depth because it gives you direction and instruction on how things work. If you know that, you then can better craft your proposal or bid, against what the government is looking for in their solicitation. So Max from Toledo, Ohio, I hope that's helpful to you. This is the Contracting Guy. I'm out. Thank you for watching the Contracting Guy. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. We'd appreciate that. This is the contracting guy. I'm out.